Hello, hello, my friends. It's so good to see you. Yeah, thank you so much for taking your time just to be present for a few moments in your day. And before we get started, let's do what we always do. Let's just move inside where all of our power is. And as we notice this breath, this breath that is arising from nothing in every breath, this breath that could only be God's breath, living and breathing within you. So you just say it out loud so you feel who you really are. Like, I am the breath of God, because you are. And when you think about this breath it's breathing you now, not skipping a beat. It's breathed you everywhere you've been, everything you've said, everything you've done. Like, your breath has been there breathing you. Wouldn't you call that love? So you can say, I am the love of God. And that's as true as I am the breath of God. So I I wanted to share with you something really wild, and I mean, I guess in our humanness it feels a little wild and crazy, but it's like I believe it's how are actually meant to live, and that we have been so cut off from the truth of how life is meant for us to be. So, this week I went to Costco. I mean, I just had this thing that a lot of us do. It's time to go. So, as I'm driving into the parking lot looking for a space, I went down this wait, I went down an aisle, but then I wanted to get closer, so I got to a fairly close aisle and I started going up that aisle. And there were just cars parked everywhere. There wasn't a spot. And I was just noticing the parked cars. And my eyes fell on a parked car whose license plate was 555. That there was those in the number altogether. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's fun. And then, oh, probably about 4 o'clock cars later, there was another parked car on the same aisle. Like, we're talking what, an aisle of 30 cars usually on those. So anyway, so about 4 or 5 down, there's another car that the license plate was 9999, like four nines. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really, really fun. That's just never happened to me that I can remember, like that's that quickly. And so numbers, they're symbolic. I mean, they do have a meaning. I mean, this whole universe is sacred geometry, perfect mathematics. And so, those triple numbers, those 4-digit numbers, they're meaningful. So I'm aware of that. And also, the universe knows that I like those numbers. Like, I spot them often. So it's how I'm spoken to in my human awareness is like, okay, are you listening? So I go around the bend, and then the other aisle, like literally on the other side, and I'm driving down looking for a spot, and I click on the right, and there's a parked car with the license plates 777. And I'm like, you have to be kidding me. And then about three cars later, there's a parked car with the license plate 888. And then two spots over was one empty spot. And I just pulled in and I'm like, wow, what just happened? What just happened? And I just sat there in my car and I'm like, okay, I'm just taking that in. I'm not sure what all that means, but that was pretty miraculous. Because get this, really get this. So I recently, not, I don't know, the last time I went to get a license plate, I'm standing in line and waiting for my turn. There's a couple people in front of me. And when it's my turn, she hands me this new license plate with these numbers on it. And I look at that and I think, how, what are the chances of us getting a license plate that has three of the same number? And what are the odds of us spotting a license plate with three and even four numbers? Like it happens, but that's like super rare for you to get a license plate or to see a license plate. So I just saw four within, 5 minutes. And so anyway, as I sit there for a moment, I get out of my car and I start walking towards the entrance of Costco. And as I'm walking towards the entrance, I see this car drive by and it's got a license plate 555. And I'm just like, no, are you kidding? I mean, okay, just even get the randomness of even someone having a license plate like that, but the perfect randomness of those specific cars being at that specific location that I was at that specific time. Because you know what? 60 seconds from now, that's all going to shift and change, you know? So it's just like the perfection of the universe speaking to us all the time. All of creation is always, always speaking to us. And so I go back in and I get all my things I need to get and come out and I smile because the car that has the 888 is still there and that's really fun. And I put my things in the car and I need some fuel. So I drive into the fuel station at Costco and I pull in right behind a lady who is just finishing that has a license plate 555. And I think that car was one of them that I had originally seen in the line. She just happened to leave about the same time I did and a little before and was getting gas. So that's pretty amazing that that would happen. And the fact that I saw another 555 car. Okay, so I've just seen all these numbers and I've just seen four cars with the license plate 555. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. Not so much because I want to tell you a story, but a little because five in the symbology of what's happening this with the number five means change. I'm really aware of that, and I mean I've experienced that as being very true. So I just saw four cars with the number 555, a triple number. And I'm thinking, okay, I know I'm in some change right now, some big changes. I've made some conscious changes and I'm navigating through as best I can. I mean, there's this sense of joy because I know that these changes are stepping me into my dream, but it's unknown. And so but I'm taking a deep breath, going, what kind of a change is in store for me now? Like, whoa. And so um, I have to tell you this story because, and I was thinking when I was calculating, like, how long ago was that? It was like about 15 years ago. So I am in our guest room and I'm dusting off. I just made the bed, just nothing on the bed, totally made. And I was dusting off the dresser top and nothing on it, totally got it spotless. And then I turned opposite direction to the opposite wall because on the opposite wall was a bookcase that, I was dusting. And so I started dusting this bookcase, and all of a sudden I heard this plop. And I'm like, that is the strangest. Why would there be anything plop on the floor? Um, I just dusted that desk that had nothing on it. I just made that bed that had nothing on it. And I turned around and on the floor, like between the dresser and the bookcase, smack dab in the middle, but was three $5 bills perfectly rolled up into a little roll. So that I mean, first I thought it just fell off the dresser. I missed it. Well, how could I? There was nothing on the dresser. And if it had just fallen off the dresser, it would have landed just right close to the dresser. It literally landed in the middle of the dresser, the bookcase, and myself, like in a direct line. It was like that was miraculous. That came out of thin air. And it freaked me out. Never happened to me like that before. And when I unroll it and I look, it's three $5 bills. I'm like, oh no, what is going to happen? Oh no. I was like terrified. I could hardly get through the day. Well, that evening, I had arranged for several of us to get together and listen to Catherine Skaggs from Colorado. And I was telling her when we got on the call that night, I couldn't wait to tell her like what had just happened. And she said to me, Teresa, why do you think that when you get a message that there's going to be change, that change means something bad's going to happen? Like, why is that your first response to the initial idea of change? And it took me by surprise, like, because I was so terrified. I was shaking. And she's so right. I'm like, I don't know. But I do have that dread that in any kind of a change, something bad is going to happen. So I've been working on that program that was deeply embedded inside of me, like, from traumas, who knows, lifetimes ago. Oh, and in this lifetime, like who hasn't had their share of traumas where things have changed and things have been painful. So, do you know that in probably, I don't know, a few weeks after that, that Don, my husband and I were on the plane headed to Hawaii, a trip to Hawaii. It was paid for, everything was paid for what, 10 days, I think it was. It was the most spectacular, beautiful um, holiday that my husband and I have had together. I mean, it's just, and now I have those incredible memories etched inside my heart. I'm so grateful for the one that gave us that paid for trip. I'm so grateful for the $5 bills that had me look at why I'm so afraid of change. I'm so grateful for that 10 days that now I get to hold on to my most cherished memories. And so that's the story about 555. So 15 years later, I've had a lot of changes. I'm sure you can look through back over your life and you can see you've had a lot of changes in the last 15 years and some really painful ones. Me too. And I'm not so fearful, not even close actually, to change, even though I've had some really, really amazing things I've navigated through, and so have you. And I'm so grateful though that I can embrace change in a way that I'm embracing it right now, which is very miraculous. And I'm not saying that I don't have a little bit of fear, like, oh no, because, change is often loss, and none of us like loss. And I recently made a decision that is kind of a loss to me, but I knew because I had been given all these messages, and I think I've shared them on the last episodes, just like I understood in a very real way, and I was really given confirmation from the presence that is never an absence, like that all that is. Um, God, whatever you want to call it. And here's the thing. We are, there's 1,000 names, I want to say, for the very same thing that we're all talking about. So we might as well quit fighting about the word and just know that we're all talking about this immaculate, amazing love that is breathing us, loving us all the time, that is miraculous like that. So I kind of got distracted, but anyway, all of that to say, um, I am moving through some changes that are that are good. I know they're good, and they're not exactly easy, but I'm okay. I'm really doing good. So back to my cars. So I'm driving home, and it's about a 40-minute drive. So I drive home. And as I'm pulling into town, there's a car that's parked and he's wanting to merge into my lane. And so I slow down and I let him merge into my lane. And sure enough, there's a car in front of me now with a license plate 555. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I just saw all these numbers in the parking lot and then five cars with the number 555 on the license plate. So I'm needing to talk to somebody. Yeah. And so I'm like, I call one of my girlfriends who has been in my life for a very long time and knows me really well. Like it's totally safe to share with her everything. And I'm like, she's not there. Like I leave this message. I'm like, I can't keep I just have to share it. So I'm just like, blah, 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 blah on their voicemail gets cut off. Oh my gosh. So then she's like finally gets my voicemail and texts me back, you've got to finish your story, call me, so I did. So we connect and I tell her this story. All of that to say this is my huge point to telling you all of this story is that she said to me when I was finished, she's like, wow, that's so incredible. She said, you are so connected. And that's the statement that I want to just highlight because I want to say this. And I said it to her, I am not any more connected than you are connected. We are all equally connected. So there is not a single human being that has ever walked the face of this earth, ever, not now, not ever, that is more connected than the next person. We are all equally connected. It would be impossible not to be. But here is the difference. The awareness of our connection is different. Those people that we look at and go, they're so connected, are the ones that are so aware of their connection and they're being in their connection. They're communicating in the connection that they're aware of that they are. And and I I'm wow, well, there's never a destination to our journey, but I can say that I am more and more becoming more aware of my connection. And I'm playing in it and I'm loving it because that connection is me, the soul of me. It's the soul of you. Like the more we unravel that we get to live our heart's desires, that they are our soul, that our heart's desires are our soul speaking to us and saying, this is you, this is what you get to do. You're here to be, do, have whatever you want. It's your soul, and you are that connection. It's here. And the more you're aware of that, your very soul, your heart, the voice of your heart, the all that is that's breathing you, that's weaving and dancing and allowing you to be your expression, it's all the same for all of us. And we get to play in opening up to our awareness of our connection. So, how do you do that? You know? So, this has been my experience. I have felt very disconnected when I'm not in my heart. When I have believed that what I want in my heart is against the will of God, this presence that's breathing us. When I have worked through the unraveling and have come to the not just the understanding, but the absolute knowing from my own experience, not because somebody's told it to me, but because it resonated with what I did hear, that my heart was true. My heart knew the answer. My heart was alive and that I could follow my heart. All of those things that I heard from other people who were doing those things, it resonated so deeply. And when I began to unravel all of the deep programming um, of separation from my heart and begin to trust my heart and love my heart and be in my heart and listen and play there. That is when I begin to develop my awareness of my divinity, the divine connection that I am, that no one can ever take from us. So we can believe it and we can be programmed into it. And all of us, I don't think there's anyone that has never been programmed with all of those programs to separate us from the truth of who we are. Separate us from our heart, separate us from believing that our heart knows the answer. I've been ridiculed and teased and told that there can be too much love in this world. I mean, I'm telling you, all of those things are things that people have been programmed to believe for themselves. But when I dared to step into courage, which, by the way, courage is a word that originated from your heart. Um, when I had the courage to believe my heart and take step by step by step and notice the 333s and the, whatever it is where nature speaks to me, because nature, all of creation is speaking to us all of the time, whether it's a car driving down the street with license plates with triple digits or not. There's birds and animals and blades of grass and flowers, and like all of creation is always, always speaking to us and bringing us into the awareness of our connection to it, because all of that is connected equally. It's so miraculous and it's so amazing and it's so beautiful and it's so exciting. And when we are aware of that connection, it does help us to let go, because it helps us open up, let go, and receive more. And when we receive more, we actually step into who we are. We step into our heart's desires, our the visions of our heart, our dreams, because our heart dreams come from our heart. They're not calculated pictures in our mind. They're visions in our heart that our mind sees, and then our mind gets behind our heart and starts orchestrating all these different synchronicities that happen with places and people and things, and it's so magical. It's so magical. Even in all of this, that we can look around in our human eyes and see is so like not great. Like we've kind of in our human power trying to figure things out have created some pretty awful things. But oh my goodness, like in our inner sight, when we go there, it's magical and that's where we're meant to live. So, thank you for thank you for letting me share this fun story. And in above all, remember that you are equally connected to every single human being that has ever walked this earth. There is no difference to your connection. The only difference is your awareness to your connection, and you get to choose. You get to choose how much you're going to listen to your heart, be in your heart, ask for things to land in your awareness that you get to that you understand because we're all different. Like you may never even relate to triple and digit numbers on license plate ever. Like, and it's totally fine. There is something or some things that do sing to you, and you're like, oh, there's that butterfly again, or there's that. Like all of creation is speaking to you. So I won't repeat myself anymore, except that know that you are absolutely 100% loved. You are love, and all of creation is here for you. Life is for you. I love you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.